Welcome, Game of Thrones freaks and geeks. You are currently watching The Word from Westeros, exclusively produced for allgeektome.net. I'm Key Calabro, and this is my show. This week we'll be talking all about Game of Thrones Season 5, Episode 5, Kill the Boy. But before I dive into discussing Jon and Dany putting on their big boy and big girl pants, here's your water cooler recap of what went down in the episode. So Jon makes a deal with the wildlings that ends up dividing the brothers. Big shocker. Stannis finally decides that it's time to march on Winterfell, but before he leaves the wall, he advises Sam, the only person that's ever killed a White Walker, to continue reading because they need to know how to defeat the army of the dead. Over in Winterfell, Sansa is getting readjusted to life at home in Winterfell when Ramsay's jealous lover introduces her to Reek, aka Theon, aka the dude that allegedly burned her little brothers. So of course when Ramsay finds out that Sansa now knows who Reek is, he puts on quite a horrific dinner that was disturbingly entertaining. Over in Meereen, Dany is mourning the death of Sir Barristan and wants someone to pay for it, so she locks up all the heads of the great Meereen houses and actually has one of her dragons barbecue them. Then she decides that to forget what everyone else is saying and listen to her own heart, and she will now reopen the fighting pits and decides to marry to unite the city. Meanwhile, Lord Friendzone and Tyrion decide to take a shortcut through the ruins of Valyria on their way to Meereen, and while they are sailing through, a bunch of stonemen attack the boat and the stonemen are affected by grayscale. And even though Lord Friendzone and Tyrion are able to escape, Lord Friendzone reveals in the final moments of the episode that he has been infected by grayscale. So in case you needed reminding, we are exactly halfway through Game of Thrones Season 5. Let me just let that sink in. We've seen 5 episodes. And we only have 5 more episodes until Game of Thrones leaves us. Anyway, so in this episode, we don't travel around as much. We stay with pretty much a small group of our main characters, and 2 of which are Jon Snow and Daenerys Targaryen, and they are becoming big boys and girls in a way. Jon now is the Lord Commander and has to make big boy decisions that not everyone's gonna like. And in this episode, Jon makes his first kind of really big play as Lord Commander and decides to make a deal with the wildlings. He will allow them to settle south of the wall for the winter if they agree to help them fight once the White Walkers come, because we all know the White Walkers come. So the deal is made by the ginger wildling that's still being held captive, and the only thing that the ginger wildling, I'm just gonna call him ginger wildling, wants is that Jon now has to leave the wall and travel with ginger wildling to get all the other wildlings. A little weird, but okay. Jon, of course, tells the brothers and doesn't even ask for a vote. He's just like, yo, this is what's happening. And it's kind of amazing because it's Jon Snow being kind of a badass leader and saying, listen, I know that you guys aren't gonna like it, but this is what has to happen. So it was a great moment in the arc that is Jon Snow. I mean, he went from being like a sad little bastard to now he's the head of the Night's Watch. So I'm nervous because of course you all know by now I'm a hardcore Jon Snow fan, for him to leave the wall, because bad things always happen when he leaves. Like, he should just probably just stay there, but of course he's not. And I'm surprised Sam isn't lynching to his legs begging him to stay, because that's such a Sam thing to do. I also want to point out, simply because I am a huge L plus R equals J fan, that there was another little Lyanna Targaryen Jon thing that happened, and maybe I'm blowing it out of proportion, but Jon walks into the library after Sam is reading to Maester Aemon about Daenerys Targaryen, and Maester Aemon says, oh, a Targaryen alone in the world is an awful thing, and then as soon as after he says it, Jon Snow walks in. Is Jon Snow another Targaryen alone in the world? I don't know, maybe, probably, yes, please. I guess we'll find out, but stop it, Game of Thrones, stop teasing me, or maybe I should just stop believing it so much. So Jon Snow is making big boy decisions for like the first time ever, and thank God, because he couldn't just sit around and be a little bitch forever. Meanwhile, Daenerys has been making big girl decisions, but finally she's kind of making big girl decisions on her own. Now that Lord Friendzone is banished and Sir Barristan is gone, Dany really doesn't have like a true confidant. She doesn't know who to listen to, because between everyone else that advises her, they all have different things that she should be doing. And so finally she makes the choice, even though after being a little Mad Kingish, there's a lot of Mad Kingish things that are going on with Dany, how she's just like set that dude on fire, and I'm getting a little nervous that she doesn't know the proper way to rule. So I'm getting a little nervous. But then even though after she sends some guy to his death by getting barbecued by one of her dragons, she makes the decision to reopen the reopen the fighting pits, and she will now marry one of the leaders of the Great Houses of Meereen to unite the city. So we will be getting another Game of Thrones wedding. So God only knows what's going to happen at this wedding. Hopefully no one dies, but I'm sure someone will. And I'm going to bet it's going to be Lord Friendzone, now that he has grayscale, and I've been predicting that he's going to die. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, but I'm happy that Dany is now just listening to herself, because I think she was getting a little bit confused about what to do. And I'm happy that Jon is finally just saying, fuck you guys, I'm gonna do what I want to do, bitches. That's how it should be done, Jon Snow. You are Lord Commander. So yeah, that's about it. It was kind of it wasn't as exciting of an episode, but a lot of things happened that will be set up for the remaining 5 episodes of season 5. I can't believe we're halfway through. Alright, well, yeah. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode of The Word for Westeros. Please let me know what you thought of this Game of Thrones episode in the comments below, or hit me up on Twitter at KateCalabro. Make sure to subscribe to All Geek to Me TV on YouTube so you never miss another episode of this show. And also check out our other great, fun, cool, geeky content that we post on the page. Game of Thrones airs Sundays at 9 p.m. on HBO. And until next time, remember, you either win or you die.